In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Blink.new to copy an app that makes $17.7 million a year from scratch without touching any code. And this won't just be a demo that looks good on camera, it's a real product with sign up and login, a database of every user, AI features built in, and Stripe payments so it can actually make money. Because that's the whole point of Blink.new. Most AI builders get you a demo. Blink gets you a real product, and it doesn't just build SaaS apps, it also does mobile apps, Chrome extensions, and AI agents, which I'll also cover later in this video. If you want to build along with me, the link in the description gets you started for free. So let's get straight into it. So after clicking on the link down in the description, it will take you right here to Blink.new, where you can sign up with Google or email. So go and click on get started for free in the top right, and then here choose either Google or email, or alternatively you can also go with GitHub, which does automatically sync it to your GitHub account. But I'll continue with Google. Then after signing up you will see this. So first of all you have two sections, you have the app and the new agent. So with agent you can build AI agents, you can also deploy OpenClaw using Blink, but we'll get into this later. For now let's go over the app. So here in app you can build multiple types of apps. We can do full stack apps, which is like a software. You can do a mobile app, which you can deploy to the app stores. You can do a website or even a Chrome extension. In this video I'm going to build a full stack app. And here's the prompt for the app. Build an AI resume builder web app with a clean modern landing page, sign up and login, and a dashboard. So first we're just saying exactly what pages I want. Then users can create a resume by filling in their details or by uploading an existing resume that the app reads and imports automatically. Let users save multiple resume versions, edit them and download as a PDF. Include a free tier limited to one resume, and a pro tier with unlimited resumes and PDF exports, using Stripe for the upgrade. Now this specific app I'm building is similar to this one called Resume Now. Now this looks like a pretty simple app, right? It's just an AI resume builder. But if you look at their revenue, you can see they are earning over $17 million per year. So that's the reason I want to build an AI resume builder. Now before we click start building right here and send the prompt, you can select an AI model. They have multiple versions, they have 1.5 Lite, 1.5, 1.5 Pro, and you can see right here that this is powered by the most capable models available. Now, if you just want to pick the model yourself, you can do that too. You can use any of the cloud ones right here. You have the GPT models, Gemini, Grok, and even some lesser known ones. But I'm going to be using Blink 1.5 for this build, which will be powerful enough for this build since it's fairly simple. If you're building a very simple thing, like a normal website, then 1.5 Lite might be even better, since this uses the most cost-efficient models. But from there, just click Start Building. And you will then see Blink's agents get to work. So it says, I'll build this smart resume AI builder app. Let me start by exploring the project structure and planning the implementation. So you can see exactly what it's doing, what tools it uses, and you can just follow along with what it's doing, which I like. So it has thought for some time and you can now see the to-do list that it's going to be working through. First, it creates database tables, then update design tokens. You can see exactly what it's working on and what it will be working on next. And it ends with adding a Stripe integration, so it will probably ask for my API key right there. And then it has added one more step to verify and test the complete app. So I'll wait for it to go through these and come back to you when it asks me a question. So it's now finished. It took quite some time, but the reason for that is that it didn't just build the front end like some of these other AI app builders. It also set up the database, authentication, backend, security, basically everything you need to actually use the app. So right here we can see the landing page. It used a very clean design and it looks great. You have the pricing plans right here, some reviews right here that we can fill in, and if you click start building, it's free. It's actually going to take you to sign up where you can use Google, GitHub or email. So I'll do a full test in a second, but first you can see right here to complete Stripe setup, add the Stripe secret key, your Stripe secret key as a secret, Then add Stripe webhook secret from Stripe webhook endpoint as a secret. And it basically just gives the exact steps you need to take in order to integrate. So let's take a look at the actual app. If you click on this icon, it will open it up in a new tab. So let's try it. I'll continue with my email. And what it then does is sends a magic link to your email to sign in. So then after signing in, it will take you to this page where you can click Create Resume, then give it a title and click Create Resume. From there, it should download this where you fill in your information. So I'll just fill this out. First, my personal info. So I've just added some information, and right here you can now see the resume show up. So it looks pretty professional, and this is the whole idea of one of these resume builders. But there's not much AI going on here, and I did ask it to make an AI resume builder. So in order to add some AI to this, I'm going to give it a follow-up prompt and see how well it can handle those. The follow-up prompt is add an AI job tailoring feature to the resume builder. On the dashboard, let the user paste in a job description. When they submit it, the AI should rewrite and tailor their selected resume to match that specific job. So basically, whenever someone uploads a job post, the resume should be updated specifically for that job post. For example, if you need a certain skill, it needs to list that skill. Make this feature pro only so free users are prompted to upgrade when they try to use it. Now actually I'm going to remove this last line since I actually want to use this in the test, but you could also do this. Now what's interesting here is that you also have these other follow-up prompts that you can give, like implement resume parsing from uploaded files, add multi-version resume management, and basically it just suggests what to do next. Now right here we have the preview. Currently it's working so you can't see the preview, but you also notice that there are 4 other tabs here. First, your dashboard. This is basically your control hub, where you have your overview with the project name, description, the favicon that will also show up right here on the website, then your URL, which you can also change later. You can also hide the Made with Blink logo by just toggling that on here. You can make it private, and you can share it if you'd like to. But then you also have your hosting, because if you want to publish it, you do need to host it. So for hosting, you can just host it directly on Blink. And that costs 50 credits per month. And here you can also connect a domain. So if you want your project to look professional, you can connect your custom domain. And you can do email right here, so connect a custom email to send emails from. Then they also have this, which I think is pretty cool. SEO and AI search. So not just the old search engine optimization, but also AI search optimization. So being recommended by ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI overviews, etc. So to use that, after you've published your app, what you do is here click Run Scan, and it's then going to score it across the 5 levers AI engines use to decide what to cite. So this is especially helpful if you are going to publish your app, and especially a website, for example, and you want to rank in the search engines and AI search, then definitely use this feature. Then if you want to restore a previous version, they have version control. So here you can just go to revert, and then it will restore that version. Then under access, you can manage users, authentication. So right here you can choose the sign-in providers, such as Google, Magic Links, GitHub, Apple, and Microsoft. For example, I can just toggle on Microsoft right here, and then it will also show that as a sign-up option. Then here you can manage API keys, secrets, security, and connectors. Connectors are helpful, so right here you have a bunch of tools that you can just connect to. Soon also Shopify, Versal, and TikTok. But for example, you could create an ad management platform that connects different ad hubs like Meta Ads, Reddit Ads, Google Ads, or you could do something entirely differently like a social media management platform where you connect to Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. and you can post across those different platforms. So that's the dashboard. Then code is pretty straightforward. This is where you can see the code that Blink.new has written. You can also just download it right here, which costs 5 credits. Then in the database, you can see all of the database tables right here. You can go through them and actually see what's happening. And finally, we have the backend. where you can see the backend, for example, the Stripe webhook, create checkout, and health are some routes it has created. Now you can also see a preview right here of this feature that's called visual editing, which helps in saving credits and just customizing every small part of your website. To use that when it's not building, you go to edit right here, and by clicking on that, it's going to make every single component on your pages clickable and editable, so you can easily change colors, you can change fonts, the actual text, images, etc. And if you want to see what the preview is on mobile, you just go right here to mobile, and it builds everything for mobile and desktop at the same time, so you don't need to worry about that. So it has now also added this feature, so let's go and take a look. So let's just open this up in a new tab once again. And you can see it has indeed changed the way that this looks. Right here we have the resume I created just now, but what we can now do is click Tailor for Job. Now I can select a resume, so let's see, yes, it does have the one I just created, so let's select that one. And then here let's paste in the full job description. So I just had AI create a job description for me right here for marketing manager position at Brightwave Software in Austin, Texas. Let's see some specific skills that you need. So content efforts, sales and product, hands-on role, what you will do, plan and run multi-channel marketing campaigns across email, paid social, paid search and content. So let's go and take a look if I click tailor resume, what it does. So you can now see our AI is analyzing the job description and rephrasing it basically to optimize for ATS software, which is applicant tracking software. So right here we have the original and then we have the tailored. So this is completely different. We can see results driven marketing professional, whereas I just said I am a creator for educational YouTube videos. Let's see, it has kept the education, it has expanded the skills to content marketing, campaign management, demand generation, which are the exact phrases that were in the job post. Then developed and executed comprehensive multi-channel marketing campaigns to drive audience growth and engagement. So that is true, but it's not what I had written here, which is the exact point. So now we can click Save as New Resume. And we now see it right here. So if you're going to take a look at this resume, what can we now actually do with it? We can click on the save button or we can click download PDF. So let's see if it then just downloads that as a PDF. Now as you can see, it doesn't look great. All of the positioning is gone. So what I would do then is just ask Blink, when I download a resume, make sure that it looks the exact same as in the preview. And if you do that, it's then going to build that. So all of it is very simple. But from here, I want to show you the edit feature. So if I click edit visually, you can see I can choose any of these parts right here. Let's say that I want to change this button right here. Then after clicking on it, I can change the size, I can change the content, font size, font weight, font family, the positioning, so right, left, center, the decoration, for example, an underline. You can choose the background color right here. You can see it updating live. And then if you just click apply, it's going to send that as a prompt and it will then change that in the code base. So let's just wait for it to finish this up and let's then deploy the app. So this version is now done. What we can now do is here click on publish. Then here you can choose a hosting plan. So this is based on the amount of visits you think you'll get per month. So you can just start with 10,000 visits per month or about 300 per day. If it scales up later, you can always just upgrade. But I'll start with 10,000. Then here you have your URL. This is the normal Blink URL. You can edit it right here for 1 credit if you want, but I'm going to connect a custom domain in a second. Then you can also auto reload. So basically auto reload your credits so that the hosting doesn't stop. I recommend turning that on. Then from there, go and click deploy now 50 credits, and this takes about 2 or 3 minutes. So let's do the deployment. You can see it will build the package, upload files, deploy it, and run a health check. And right here we now have the app. So first of all, if I now click open app, you will see it open up right here, everything working. I can click get started and sign up. But for now, I'll connect a custom domain. So click on add a custom domain, which will take you to your dashboard, which again is your control center, and then to hosting, then domains, and here you can just click add domain. Now here, type in the domain that you own. If you don't yet own a domain, you can also buy a domain right here through Blink.new. So right here on Hostinger, I have this domain right here, softwarescopes.com, which is the one I'm going to use right here. And I'll connect a subdomain. Now I'll show you exactly how this works. First, if you own a domain, just go to your DNS records. By the way, if this is not interesting to you, just skip ahead a minute. But right here, enter the domain you own, which for me again is softwarescopes.com. However, I'm going to connect a subdomain, so I'll add app.softwarescope.com, or softwarescopes, I think the domain is. Then from there, click add domain, which is 5 credits to connect your domain, and then click confirm. You then have added the domain, but you will need to add some DNS records, so click right here to configure, and then you can just set this up with a tool called Entry. So Entry does it all for you, but I'll do it manually since it's quite simple. So you have a CNAME. The name here for me is app, since I'm connecting the subdomain, which for me will then be app. So I'll copy the value right here. Then in my DNS records, I'll go right here. Then the type was CNAME, the name was app, and this was the target. This may be slightly different for you, but just click add record. Then you can close this. And then it's usually going to take a couple minutes up to a few hours. You can see usually active within 5 to 10 minutes, but then my domain right here, this domain, will be connected to this app. So you don't have to do anything else. This is now done. You have connected your domain. Now, what else can you do with Blink? So far, the entire video, we have focused on this full stack app build. But you also have mobile apps, you have websites and Chrome extensions. I definitely recommend just playing around with those. You can see your projects down here, but you can also see templates by other people, kind of get inspiration from what other people have built. And really just anything you can think of, you can just build it, because they do pretty much anything. But there's an entire other side to Blink.new, which is agents. So you've probably heard a ton about AI agents, but often it just sounds pretty complex. You may not know exactly where to start. I think this is a great place to start, because they have these templates. You can see you have agents for CFO, investment researcher, DevOps and security monitor, head of recruiting, and a bunch more. So let's say you need an inbox manager that just goes through your emails and sends emails in your voice and shows you what you actually need to see. So let's take this template here. You can give the agent a name, a role and instructions, and a plan. So right here you have the different plans. Starter gets you 2 vCPU and 2 GB of RAM for 50 credits per month, which is more than enough for me. So this is going to be hosting your agent. Here just click deploy 50 credits, and it's now going to deploy this agent. So for 50 credits per month, you basically just hired an employee. Now these employees are for very specific tasks. You don't have one agent that handles a bunch of different tasks. Per task you have one agent. For example, this is the agent for going through emails, drafting replies, removing spam, and you can train it on your voice. But I'll show you real quick how it works. Alright, so here we have the agent. Now, since this is an email agent that goes through my emails, I personally use Gmail, so I'm going to have to connect my Gmail. I'll click connect right here, and then connect to one of these Gmail accounts. I'll just take the first one here. Then here you can see what it has access to, so it can read, compose, send, and permanently delete all your email from Gmail, see and download all of your Google account email addresses, and a few more things. So you can choose what it has access to and click continue. So now we have connected our Gmail account, and it now has access to that. We can see it here linked our Gmail account. Then down here you can see the different AI models you can use. It has stuff like Claude Fable 5, Claude Sonnet 4.6, Opus 4.7, 4.8, but also GPT, Gemini. Now just know that some of these models are more expensive than other ones. For a simple agent that just goes through my emails, drafts replies, I don't need Claude Fable 5, which is a very expensive and competent model. What I would use here is probably indeed Claude Sonnet 4.6, which it has already been set to. Now here you can message your agent, so I'll just say hi. So it now went through my email and read everything. Then it will ask who I am, It will then ask questions. Now anything you answer here is basically you training your AI agent. So first your time zone, then how do you want to reach me? So what you can do is connect this to your WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, and then just send messages from there to your AI agent. So for example, Amsterdam time, WhatsApp, and say to keep it concise and direct. So I definitely just recommend playing around with these AI agents because I'm now training an AI agent to handle my inbox inquiries. So whenever someone sends me an email, this AI agent is going to draft a reply, and all I have to do is just hit send. And it is also trained on how you talk, from you talking to it, as well as reading your emails. So it knows exactly what you do, how you talk, and you can use a ton of different agents. Now you may have also heard of OpenClaw, which is essentially the same thing as what we're building here. Here it's just branded as Blink.new, but OpenClaw is basically this. It's just an AI agent that you give some resources, like a bit of RAM, some memory, and then it's just going to do stuff for you. So right here I said I wanted it to connect to WhatsApp, and now what I can do is just connect it to my WhatsApp and send messages. Now, I'm not going to keep building in this video because it's all pretty straightforward. It just tells you what to do, give a separate number, a dedicated SIM, etc. But this is pretty insane, so definitely take a look at the AI agent section of Blink.new as well. You can see your agents here send messages and also create new agents. And that's the whole framework, from an idea to a real working SaaS product that you could actually sell, built in about an hour with Blink.new. And remember, this wasn't just a demo, it's got real authentication, a real database, real payments, the stuff that actually takes a developer weeks and thousands of dollars to put together. Because building real software used to cost tens of thousands of dollars. Now it costs you a $25 subscription and a few prompts. So if you've ever had an idea for an app, it's never been easier to actually build it. The link in the description gets you started with Blink.new for free, no card required, so you can test it out and see what you can make. If this Blink.new tutorial helped you out, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. With that being said, I will see you in the next video.